Hello everyone! Welcome back to my Master Guppy channel. Today I'll film the daily tasks at my farm to share with all of you. Here is the row of foam breeding tanks. This side is premium breeder fish, and over there are the ice cream box tanks. 7-liter boxes for breeder strains in the student budget tier. I stock about 1 male or up to 2 pairs per box, not too many at once. That side is also a breeder section. Right now there are lots of fry, kept in 7-liter boxes and also in plastic cages like these, so I need to clean up the glass tank rack over there. That glass rack last time I sold and scooped out fish, so now many tanks are empty. Here are the strains I separated to grow out, so they size up faster. This is the full red BDS line. Males here, females on this side. My full red has a very strong color palette. Very solid. Up here are the lines. Blue topaz BDS and half moon. There's another batch here, but they ate too much, so they swim lazily, and the color doesn't show clearly. Right now the half moon line is also being raised by friends nearby. They're breeding for me, so at the farm this time, I'm focusing on new lines. Self-bred strains of my own. Look at the full red color. It's blazing red. And down here we have some other strains. Topaz Dumbo guys. Their fins are fully blue, while my topaz half moon fins are only partial, can't get this full coverage like these. On the bottom row 1, keep topaz Dumbo. And in the blue tray here, it's mostly bettas. I've also jarred them separately, so now they're in their second color change. Lots of bettas here. Here's the line. Dumbo White Eye recently shared a few pairs and picked breeders, so this tank is a bit sparse. And here is Dumbo Yellowback. There are 2 spawns here. This Dumbo Yellowback was shared by some friends, and now it has bred like this. Let me show you over here. This area for now, I haven't had time to clean yet, so the water is a bit low. Over here, these ice cream boxes also hold student tier strains. Breeders kept sparsely inside. I stuck them lightly like this, because breeders need a bit more space to ripen eggs faster and breed more confidently. Up here are bettas. They get excited whenever I walk by. Right now, I keep almond leaves inside, so it's a bit hard to see. These bettas are just for a quick look. I don't dare remove the divider or they'll flare at each other. They get very aggressive if they see each other. Here's a male Koi Nemo metallic. Very beautiful. This one shows white scales. Absolutely stunning. The lower part looks like a dairy cow pattern. The lower part and body have white and blue spots that look just like a dairy cow pattern. Today I'll clean this rack. From the first tank over there to the middle section here, right where the power outlet is. It holds about 50 tanks, but currently only around 15 tanks are stocked with fry. Now I'll clean the lower part. Since most fish are moved out, let me switch on the lights. I forgot earlier. Still some spider webs here. Please excuse the mess. I'll roll up the curtain to make it brighter inside. In the morning, if I don't drop it down, the sunlight from that side shines directly on the glass tanks. After 4 to 5 days, it causes a lot of stubborn hair algae, which is really hard to remove. So I block the light by keeping the curtain down from 6 a.m. until about 1 to 2 p.m. before rolling it up. By then the sun moves away and doesn't hit the tanks directly. Now I'll roll it up. Next, I'll take this hose outside to siphon wastewater out. I'll place the end of the hose so it drains to the street. Then I put a net here in case fry get fleshed out so I can catch them. Now I'll cover the phone box so kids won't mess with it. Alright, let's start cleaning the tanks. Come join me in scrubbing them together today. This steel rack has been here for almost 4 years, so it rusts. The silicone also shrinks in cold weather, leaving tiny gaps that let water leak. So leakage only happens in winter. Not much problem this season. These glass tanks, though, can last more than 15 years. Earlier, I shared a video showing why this steel rack is stronger than V-slot racks. Some viewers commented, only stainless steel is durable. But economically speaking, building 300 tanks like these with inox would cost 3 times more than steel. Not affordable to make it all inox. Maybe later if possible. I'll replace this with inox racks and move this one outside for extra use. Now let's clean this tank properly. Make it nice and clear. First we siphon out some waste. Here's my siphon tube. I'll siphon a little first, then again for a cleaner tank. A second pass works better, also when washing filters. Water won't splash outside. Now I'll clean this tank as a demo for you. The way I clean tanks doesn't require removing filters to wash them elsewhere. That wastes too much time. I wash them right inside. That's good enough. Now I'll take out the filter sponge and cartridges. Let me show you how to clean the QS200A filter cartridges. We'll scrub around to remove the dirt. I dip it into the tank, guys, and rinse like this. That's fine already. Any dirt inside the filter core will wash out anyway. One core done. Now the second one. This core is pretty slimy. Since I put it in this corner, it just collects naturally. Not something I can control. So please understand. When I shake it, the camera shakes too. Even hits the lens sometimes, because I scrub a bit hard. That's fine already. After rinsing the filter cores, next, we wash the sponge. I'll show you here. Just scrub like this until the sponge looks clean. Then put it back into the filter core. After washing, it's clean enough. One rinse is enough here, because these tanks I usually deep clean when I finish a batch of fish. So it's not too dirty. If you leave filters 6 months without cleaning, the water will turn black, as dirty as a sewer. I also clean the pipe here. This oxygen tube often builds up calcium deposits. Just scrub it off. It always comes back anyway. The key is keeping the filter clean. Rinse thoroughly, make it neat and clean. And that's it, filter set washed. Done, guys. Pretty simple. I'll leave this over here for now. Now let's scrub the tank. I'll keep the good moss and remove the old parts. I'll move some moss into this forest tank and throw away the bad ones. Then scrub this tank until it's clean. There's a magnet scrubber here, but I think using my hand is quicker and cleaner. More flexible too. Better than the magnet scrubber. Now scrubbing the middle glass. This tank isn't too dirty compared to before. When I didn't use curtains, algae grew fast. It was terrible. Even scrubbing couldn't clear it all. So I cleaned several times. After scrubbing, we drain the water and remove the dirty water. Then refill the tank once. Drain again. That way the tank becomes spotless. These tanks had a lot of algae and dirt. The filter was filthy. Now it's clean again. Looks just like a newly set up tank. Now I'll put the camera aside so I can focus on cleaning faster. More efficient, because if I keep talking and filming, it'll take forever to finish all these tanks. Wish you a good new day. Yesterday I cleaned tanks from 3:30 p.m. until 9:30 p.m. Way too late, so last night I couldn't keep filming. This morning I prepared some fry batches to move into the tanks that I cleaned yesterday. As you can see, each cup has a batch of fry. Today's fry are mostly albino red-eye. So you can see their bodies look very pale, almost white, because they haven't colored up yet. Red-eye means albino strain. Here we have lines like topaz half moon and topaz. Dumbo along with full red BDS. A lot of fry, and I scooped water from this tank. Now I'll release them. If kept in cups too long, the fry will lack oxygen. When fry are just born, you can keep them in a 7L container or a small jar. That's fine. But only for 2 to 3 days. That's the limit. Don't keep them longer. If kept too long, they won't have space. They'll be stressed and get sick easily. At this stage, fry are very fragile. Small water volume means after eating, their waste quickly dirties the water, which makes it unsafe. Dirty water causes fry to get sick fast. Here is a batch of full red BDS. I wrote the date here. marked as batch from breeder tank No.1. And this batch is also from tank No. 1 but. Topaz Dumbo. Now I'll release these fry. So many fry. They've acclimated to the water, so I can release safely. No worries. I stored this water since yesterday. At 9:30 p.m. I filled the tanks. And by morning, around 10 a.m. it was ready. Safe to release fish, because I use well water. And I store it in the overhead tank. It's been settled for a day. Now I'll release them. Careful to place them correctly. A mistake could be a disaster. Let me check again. This batch has a surface film from when the mother gave birth. That's normal discharge. These are Topaz Dumbo. I need to remember how many tanks to use. This batch goes into one tank. It's a bit crowded, but I ran out of tanks. Yesterday I cleaned quite a few, but still short this morning. For the Topaz Dumbo line, as they grow, I'll cull males that show too much red and remove weak fins. Only keep the best fish, so later this tank will thin out. Not stay crowded, like when they're small. Fry can be kept denser, that's fine at first. No problem. I've released them. First time in a big tank. These tanks don't have moss yet. I haven't had time to add moss or snails, but I'll add them gradually. Add some snails in. Here's another batch. After pouring, rinse the cup, in case some fry are still stuck inside. At the bottom, so they can swim out. Today I'm only releasing one black-eyed guppy strain. It's the red dragon striped short-tail BDS line. Their black eyes look like pandas. Look at their eyes. So cute. This short-tail strain has a translucent look. When I lift the cup, the fry above think it's feeding time and gather up. Here's another batch. Let me recall the name. This batch is its name is quite long. Now I'll release these fry. Look, they're swimming out. These fry look so adorable. Next, I'll release another batch. Today there are two black-eyed batches. This one is the silver line. Silver Radian. Blue BDS Half Moon. Quite a long name. There are too many strains now, so the names are still hard to remember. I'll just release them directly. Let them get used to the tank a bit. Then I'll feed them and move on to another strain. Let me recall this batch. I'll split this one into two tanks, since there are quite a lot of fry. I estimate about 60 to 80 fish here. I'll release them here. Then divide into 2 tanks. At first they swim out slowly. Then spread in all directions. Done. I'll release the rest here. This batch looks rather sparse, so I'll just keep them in 1 tank. This light fixture keeps snapping zip ties. They break again and again, always snapping right at this spot. I replace it, then it breaks again. Replace again. I even tested their toughness, the strength. But with the heat from the lamp, the zip ties get brittle and just keep snapping. Over and over again. I'll secure it back, otherwise it may drop and cause a shock. Releasing fry like this feels so chill. This batch is very special and extremely crowded. Look at them. Probably close to 100 fry here. That many really. So I'll split them into about 3 tanks, so they live more comfortably. One tank here. I'll balance them carefully. Too many in 1 tank will turn out poorly. Overcrowding lowers quality. This tank yesterday, I dropped a bit of waste. Some residue stayed here. I'll siphon it out before releasing fry to keep it clean. The water level is a bit high now, so I'll leave this batch aside for later and release after. Here's the next tank. Next one. This one looks sparse too, but since each strain is kept in a separate tank, I'll raise them separately in different glass tanks. So later when I select breeders and share fish with others, there won't be inbreeding. This batch is around 10 to 20 fish. This other batch has more. These fry were kept in a styrofoam box for since the days, so they've grown larger already. Don't overcrowd fry in tight spaces. Never think they're small, so cramming is fine. That's a mistake. When they grow up, they look bad. The fins won't spread well. Their bodies stay thin and small. The tail fins are just average. Here's a tank of Moonex. I'll split this tank into 2 tanks, dividing 1 cup into 2, so they grow better. Now let's move to the next tank. This one is marked as tank number 3. If tank 3 produces a lot of fry, we'll divide them into tanks. I mark them this way, so later they won't mix bloodlines. Number 3 with this mark means I know these 2 tanks are from the same parents. All from 1 batch, 1 father and mother. Now let's release them. Whoa. There's moss here. It looks much cozier. I'll pour the rest into this side too. Sitting here is painful because this level is too low. I'm forcing myself to sit. Since my foot. I broke my middle toe while catching fish. I kicked into the steel rack, and it bent the toe. It shifted sideways and broke. I had to tape it to my second toe, so it would heel straight. To keep it tight, otherwise it would bend outward like this. I went for an X-ray already. It hurt so much I was afraid if it healed wrong, I'd be crippled. I walk a lot every day, so that would be tough. Oh no, I talk too much. This batch from tank 3 should have been split into 3, but I only split into 2 tanks. That's why it's crowded. I'll fix it later, move some fry over, so you grow faster, with more space. Next, let's see the full red BDS blood red line in my farm. This tank I split into 2. One batch divided into 2 tanks. Just chill. I'll let them settle a bit. Then later, I'll feed all the fish in the farm. And record for you guys. For this tank, I'll fix this area and move fry. Split into 3 tanks. See you in a bit. Now let's harvest Artemia and head back to feed the fish. Then, film them eating so you can enjoy. Here I have 2 Artemia bottles. I hatched them one after another. This one I harvested yesterday noon, then rehatched. By today, some still hatched at the bottom. If you don't know, hatch for 24 hours, harvest once, or every 36 hours. If you throw away the floating shells, it's wasteful because fry still hatch below. You can still collect them. This is a fresh bottle, so it looks fuller, much more. But actually it's not harvest time yet. See this Artemia? Let me zoom in. They're still hanging on the shells. Not fully detached, which means not all hatched. So it's early. But I'll harvest now to show you. And film it for everyone. Now let's release them and watch the fish eat. Before, with this 5-liter bottle, I used a T-connector. Inserted it into the cap for the air tube, so the air was locked in, then drained from below. But after a while, when using bottles, we usually place them under sunlight. More light helps Artemia hatch better. Strong light gives higher hatch rates. But algae also grows and blocks the tubes. So when draining Artemia, it takes much longer because the tube gets clogged. Before, with bottles like this, the hose would get clogged with algae, and it took about half an hour to drain the whole bottle, brothers. Super slow. So now I switched to this valve. I'll open it up so you can see how it works. I've got a tip for hatching Artemia, so eggs don't sink to the bottom. If you're dealing with sunken eggs, collecting on the bottom, and when you drain, drop a comment on my video, and I'll make a video to share the method. Hardly anyone shares this stuff. After switching to a water valve, a 21 lock valve, I just open it, and it gushes right out. Takes only a few seconds to drain all the Artemia and water. This is the Artemia I salvaged after yesterday's harvest. Saved this much back, brothers. Pretty thrifty, right? After we harvest, I wash the bottle so it's nice and clear. See, with the Artemia bottle, once they hatch, it's like there's hatch water inside, and it gets cloudy. I've got a scrub cloth, but I dropped it somewhere, so I'll just use this mesh to scrub. Just a light scrub. Now I'll refill and set up another bottle, fresh Artemia for tomorrow's harvest. Hang it up here. Now I'll harvest the other bottle too, and show you how to hatch Artemia. If you're new to fish and don't know how, watch this video for reference. Tap the bottle near the spout to let it flow. That drops the Artemia to the center so it drains out. After hatching with honey and draining like this, rinse it clean, brothers. Don't leave the honey hatch water in there. It smells and there's lots of salt, which is very salty.